Chronics from the most extreme wrestling, and this is your AEW Dynamite review for May 20th, 2020. This took place at the Daily's Place, and keep in mind that this Saturday, AEW's pay-per-view Double or Nothing will be live and at its full AEW pay-per-view price, so get your wallets ready. Tonight is the go-home show, and we know we're watching wrestling because a limo is pulling up. Inside is the Inner Circle, equipped with a bat carried by Jericho. Next up, we have Mr. Brody Lee. He has the AEW Championship, although he's not the champion. Oh no, Jon Moxley is the champion. Brody Lee, Mr. Brody Lee that is, he just stole it. And at this pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, they will go head-to-head. And I'm pretty sure that Moxley is going to be trying to get that gold back in his possession. Well, presumably before and after the match, during the match, so he can win the match, so he can take it with him. Because Mr. Brody Lee is running around with this championship, and I'm just kind of surprised, as crazy as Jon Moxley is, that he hasn't found a way to get it back yet. But he's going to be trying tonight, so let's see what he does. Right now, Brody Lee, he's speaking on how he has elevated the Dark Order. We see the Dark Order out there, they're all lined up, they're all uniformed, they got their business casual on, just being little drones. So yes, they have increased their dress codes for sure. I don't know what happened to Evil Uno. I guess he's out now that we have the Exalted one. He's been catapulted out. He's been exalted out. I guess he's gone. He doesn't fit the description. Although he was wearing suits, was he not? I don't know. He's gone. This is a new Dark Order. That's the point. And he's letting us know that he is immortal among these men. And he is part of the elites. He's one of the Lions, and results speak for themselves. And tonight, 10, the man 10. You take the Roman noodles. Those sound good. But Roman numerals on the man's chest. Or wait, those aren't Roman numerals. Those are just checks. Just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 / Because if it was Roman numerals, he would have the V's for the 5. So yeah, he has little scratch marks, like tally marks, like in a movie if he was in prison and he was counting the days, but he only had to be in there for 10 days. But he put them on his chest. That's what 10 has, so that's how we can identify him, Mr. 10. Well, yeah, we're going to see what he can do tonight, because he will be taking on the actual AEW champion of Jon Moxley. Now, AEW, they don't really just squash anybody, and that's not what happened here, but the AEW champion taking on 10. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 after a paradigm shift that was executed so perfectly, it looked devastating. I mean, my goodness, that was like a double underhook brainbuster kind of thing going on there, which I guess it kind of is, but he makes it his own, so it feels unique to him, and I'm all about that. Not too sure, but yeah, Moxley definitely wins this one. And Moxley gets under the ring to get some toys. And you know this man, he's a little bit unhinged, if you will. Yeah, he's getting a chair. He pulls out this chair, and he pulls off the elbow pad of 10. And it looks like he's about to do some damage. He's got the chair, wrapping it up around his arm. And things are not looking good. And Brody Lee comes on the screen and he says that he's going to just sacrifice 10. Which, you know, you always want to be a part of a group where there is a possibility, a strong possibility when things get rough, that you will become the sacrificial person. Well, not even just that, just that anybody in the group at any time, for any reason, given the right circumstance, you could be that sacrifice. And you don't want to be that. That's no place to be, but that's where 10 was. So if 10 goes back to the Dark Order after getting abandoned like this man needs to get some psychological investigations in his cranial regions. So, Brody Lee and the rest of the Dark Order, they leave. I'm assuming the rest of the Dark Order were like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't volunteer tonight. And Moxley goes ahead and smashes that chair against his arm, presumably breaking his arm, at least taking him out of action for a while. But see, the thing is, Moxley, it's kind of like he had to do it because he was put in that circumstance, theoretically. But you would think that the AEW champion would have kind of thought through, okay, I'm threatening him, but I really want the belt. Why don't he just run out and go why didn't he just chase the man down? He saw him on the screen. He saw him walking slowly away in the back or going out of the arena or whatever. It probably wouldn't have been too hard to catch him because if you noticed when Jon Moxley made his entrance, it took him 10 seconds maybe to get into the ring from outside. Like, we literally saw that at the beginning of the match. And then at the end of it, it's like, well, I'm sorry, but Mr. Brody Lee's not giving you your championship, although he's just walking very slowly out of the arena. So you should just stand there and just stand there. Yeah, got to think that through. So next up, we have MJF. He's with Wardlow, of course, because, well, Wardlow protects him and he helps him out with things like putting the ring on his finger. You got to have somebody to put the ring on your finger, and why not be it someone who is big, strong, and scary and will hurt people? Well, MJF doesn't actually have to worry about security or anything tonight because he's taking on Marco Stunt. Last week we saw Marco Stunt get thrown at the hands of MJF into the barricade. It looked brutal. Freaking Marco Stunt landed on concrete after that. I mean, from metal to concrete, neither one is good. They both suck. But tonight he is in this match with him. And Marco, he is just getting... He's kind of getting beat up just a little bit, don't you think? He's got this bear hug being applied to him, and he's just like, ugh. Like, I thought he was knocked out at first, but then he started having a little bit of life. I think the camera angle just looked kind of weird, because all I could see was just his back, and he was just kind of like, oh, I'm getting bear hugged. After that, Marco was fighting for his life. He was also fighting to keep the hair out of his face. I don't know what was happening, but that wind, it was attacking him. Actually, before the wind must have been really bad, because before this match, before the bell rang, Marco Stunt comes out for his entrance, and he takes his shirt and tries to throw it into the crowd, and it falls like freaking Jeff Hardy at Victory Road 2011. Is that what it was called? In 2011, when Jeff Hardy was all screwed up on pills or whatever, and he was just like, that's what it looked like. But I think it was the wind. So, man, Marco was having some trouble, but he has a hell of a comeback, and he fights hard, trying to get some steam back in this thing. So it was a great comeback. However, MJF cuts him off, hits a submission, and Marco's got no choice but to submit, which he does. And after this, to add insult to injury, MJF gets on the microphone, which is good for us, which isn't an insult or injury. But to Marco and his ego, oh, it's just devastating. He gets on there and he's saying, look, I would get one of my ring rats out there, one of these girls, I'd bring them in here and have them give you a kiss, but nobody wants to give Marco Stunt a kiss. And that's just rude. You're insinuating the guy can't get a date. And I mean, that's just mean. He's a professional wrestler on a national scale. I'm pretty sure he can get a date. I'm pretty sure he can. But it was just so rude of MJF. So MJF is always going to find mic time, and that's good, because whatever segment he's in, whatever match he's in, if he's not getting mic time, like, I feel like we might be missing some stuff. That's one of his really strong points. And yeah, that's something he definitely needs to stay on. Once he seasons as a talent and gets way more experience, he won't have to rely on that so much. He'll just be freaking great at it. I know people have made comparisons to MJF and The Rock in the past, but yeah, you do see some of those tendencies. I don't think anybody could ever be The Rock. I mean, he's like Hogan, he's just... But he does have some of those tendencies, and he does have some of that in him. And he will get better over time. And that's the good thing for us watching at home, or whenever we get to go back and watch it live. Next up, we have Jake the Snake have an entrance, and then Arn Anderson has an entrance. Full entrances. So, why? Because they're about to have a sit-down interview with each other. Well, their setting is shaded, and it is very windy as they're throwing that shade at each other as quick as that wind. I mean, the AEW logo on the table is just in the wind, and their hairs, I'm not saying their hair, their hairs, them fews of them, they were flying around. So, yes, they are having this. Jake the Snake, he is trying to intimidate, as he does. Arn Anderson is saying that the snake is just a distraction, and that you use this fear to make people afraid of you when they're really afraid of the snake. So really interesting stuff going on there. And Jake starts challenging Arn Anderson to a match. See, this was going pretty well. I like the fact that you have two guys out here that are very good talkers and understand wrestling like a lot of us wish we could, and they are just tuned into it. They can really hit it. But this makes me wonder, why are these guys doing this? I get it. They can't have everybody at the shows. Maybe that's the reason we can't have Cody, and we can't have Lance Archer out here. But why, when I think about this feud and I think about Lance Archer, Jake the Snake has been overshadowing him. Yeah, I get it. Lance Archer comes out and punches people when he makes his entrance. Who freaking cares? What Jake the Snake is doing is way more interesting, and I'm way more compelled as to what's going to happen with him. And he's not even going to be having a match ever. That's a problem. I'm more concerned about Jake's wrestling career when I know he's not wrestling. It's just not working. As far as getting Lance Archer over. Now, maybe they're going to do some kind of big thing during the match that's going to, oh my goodness, this was just so incredible and Jake was a part of it. I hope so, but right now it's just like Lance Archer doesn't have a whole lot going for him other than big scary guy with red fake hair who punches people during his entrance. I don't know how does he find him? Where does he scoop him up? He just grabs him out of Gorilla and he just hits him? What? You would think any new guy would say, oh, yeah, there's that guy with the red hair. I'm gonna stand over here, maybe outside. There's no fans here, so I can hear. Oh, is it my time to come out? Ooh, my song's playing, hold on. It only takes 20 seconds to go from the outside to the inside. I think it was more like 10, right? That's what Jon Moxley was able to do. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but that's what he did. Okay, now, they're challenging each other to a match, to a fight, and I don't know why. Because why even go there if you know it can't happen? It just doesn't make sense to me. It seemed very improv. I just think that they should have known better to go to that. Because, wait, what are you promoting again? Lance Archer and Cody? I didn't think about them at all when you guys were getting in each other's faces, but Tony Schiavone gets shoved as a way to buy time for the referees to get there to break them up, and they break them up. So I'm assuming somebody's going to punch somebody. Two old guys are going to punch each other during a spot during this match. Okay. It'll make for an entertaining spot. I'll give them that. But it just seems excessive for the storyline, and if you're really trying to get Lance Archer over, yeah, I don't know. that could be toned a little bit. But Arn Anderson, he did mention Mike Tyson. He did mention to Jake, or what are you going to use the snake on Mike Tyson? So, yeah, Mike Tyson, he's going to present the TNT Championship of the winner during that or after that match. So, really, this match has the most amount of stuff in it. And, of course, because it's Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes is always going to have the best storyline. That's just the way he does it. There's going to be a hell of a lot of elements during that match. So, yeah, I expect this match to be the show stealer here. But I hope that when Lance Archer inevitably wins the championship, the TNT Championship, that people will care about it. Anyways, I know most people think Cody's probably going to win, but yeah, I don't think so. I just don't. Anyways, next up we have Darby Allin. He has one of his special videos that he does where he's playing poker. He's pushing in, saying that he's all in. He sets a Joker card on fire. He's playing with characters that have like cardboard cutout faces of the other wrestlers. It's going to be in this big ladder match they're going to have. Oh my goodness, whatever. This is going to be at the pay-per-view, and you're damn sure going to care about it, by God. And then they show him, he's on top of a ladder, and then it's on fire, and he's on fire. So, he's the Joker, he's on fire, he's on the ladder, he's on fire. Okay. You got my attention, Darby. Now we have Orange Cassidy tells his lackeys, his best friends, to stay behind as he's going to take on Rey Fenix. As Orange Cassidy comes out very slow, Rey Fenix tries to hit him with the knee again at the entrance, but Orange Cassidy is smart and he slowly leans back, doesn't let that happen. Now they're having a match. Early in the match, Orange Cassidy had his hands in his pockets while he was having his match and doing moves with his hands in his pockets. I used to hate this so much, but oh my God, I can't believe it, but it has grown on me, and I feel like as long as it makes sense in the context of the match and it's logical, I don't have a problem with it. Because as the heat got turned up in this thing, as Rey Fenix started fighting back and really got the upper hand, he started getting a lot more aggressive and mean, and those silly, ridiculous spots went away. So, I'm okay with that. Then Kip Sabian decides to come down with the ladder and sit on top of it like he is a lifeguard. Okay. Well, Rey Fenix, he comes away with the victory because, man, his comeback was just too great. And the SCU come down and shake the ladder. They act like, oh, we're just kidding. But then they come back and knock him over, Kip Sabian, into the ring from the top of the ladder. Unnecessary bump. There was no reason to do that. They could have just shaken the ladder and freaked him out. I mean, taking a bump, it just seemed, why? I guess if you want to, dude. These young wrestlers, man, they will just take a bump for no reason sometimes. But that's what happens. Yeah, and then guys come out, more guys come out in this match. Colt Cabana comes out and does an moonsault. He does the moonsault from that, the outside rope, right? And lands on everybody. It looked really great, but damn, the old man's got to show us that he can still move. Now we have Statlander and Sheeta versus Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker, mind you, and Nyla Rose. There's a big team up on Nyla Rose, but Nyla gets picked up by both of those girls, Britt Baker, Statlander and Sheeta, and slam Nyla on Britt Baker. And I don't know why they did this, but they threw her sideways. Just why the hell didn't they throw her straight down? I think they were too close and they tried to twist it, but it looked like Britt Baker messed up her knee by having Nyla land on her. I really couldn't tell if she hit her, like how hard or whatever, from the replay, but it did look pretty legitimate, so we'll find that out in time with the news and such. But Nyla gets a table. She puts Sheeta on the table. Sheeta gets up. Nyla goes to the top, and Statlander stops her, and Nyla ends up going through a table. Next up, we have Moxley does a little promo where he's breaking everything. He says that everything breaks down to violence. You get a disagreement, yada yada. Just if it doesn't get resolved, it gets more heated. It ends up in violence. And I thought, that promo made sense. Sometimes with Moxley, his promos are good, his delivery is good, but sometimes it is over here when it needs to be there, or it's kind of this way, but it needs to be more pointed to something. It just seems kind of nebulous sometimes when he does his promos. And yeah, but this one I really like this. It was quick, it was to the point. Now we see Shawn Spears. He's doing an SSN update, a Shawn Spears network update or whatever, because he's CNN, because man, it doesn't matter how many decades go by, CNN jokes are hilarious. So he's reporting on the news here that Dustin Rhodes has been retired, which everyone's confused. Even JR doesn't know what he's talking about, and literally says something along the lines of, well, we didn't know, but apparently it's been booked. It's going to be Shawn Spears and Dustin Rhodes at the pay-per-view. So you're going into the pay-per-view, and Jim Ross, like the most seasoned guy out there, legend here on commentary, and he doesn't know or really understand like how this became a match. Problems? Yes, I definitely think so. And the fact that he didn't know before that was announced, he should have been like, oh, finally, I'm glad this is gonna get resolved, But it wasn't like that at all. So, unfortunately, these little, I don't know who's not being told what, but this has been a problem in AEW since the beginning, and it still is. And yeah, I'm going to keep talking about it until they stop doing that, because what the hell, man? How do you not have a meeting where you're like, okay, well, here's the match cards, these are the matches, these are the points we want to get to, and then they're just like, hey, surprise, match card, boom, match is going to happen. Oh, well, I guess this match is going to happen. Oh, damn, I cannot wait to drop my money on this, because I can't go to Dave & Buster's and watch this for free. I got to pay for it for realsies. So, yeah, I'm super motivated now. All right, Battle Royal is going to happen next week to decide who the number one contendership for the newly crowned TNT Championship, because, I mean, why even have rankings when you're just going to have random put together matches like Battle Royals to decide who the number one contendership is, or the contender. Sammy is upset in a video package, and Matt says he was outnumbered about last week. We see Sammy, he's been having this neck brace on and he's been hurt because he got rant over. But he's okay now because it's the main event and Sammy Guevara is taking on Matt Hardy. And yeah, Matt Hardy takes off Sammy Guevara's boot and starts biting Sammy Guevara's feet. Now, I don't know where Matt Hardy got those teeth, but man, those chompers are whiter than Diamond Dallas Page's freaking dominoes in his mouth, my man. This was a pretty alright match. It was probably way more cooler for Sammy Guevara to be in the ring with Matt Hardy. That's got to be an honor. But Matt Hardy comes away with the victory. So, hey, Matt Hardy over here winning main event matches. Then we see Jericho backstage or back in the football arena with major audio issues in hand. Well, he also has in hand his bat. He's got Kenny Omega in a severely ripped up shirt. It looks like, one of those ripped up shirts that women buy, but that went horribly wrong. He was wearing that, but presumably he was getting beat up for who knows how long. He's tied to a goalpost. Santana and Ortiz start running right into the Young Bucks in mid-flight to catch them. And then Hardy joins this melee at the arena. This is a preview of the pay-per-view where they will be having this big arena match in the center of this football field in this ginormous arena with no one around, a big empty arena. So that's going to give you some 80s freaking like Dallas vibes, just these big open area shows, just like they had in many promotions back in the 80s. So what a hell of a throwback there. Arn Anderson, he's going to love it. So I don't know if they're going to do all the matches out there. I presume not. I'm assuming they're just going to have that one brawl out there. So I guess Arn Anderson, he's just going to have to go there before they start. Anyways, after the dives, after Matt Hardy, we're going to have this match. And out of nowhere, as all this melee is happening, as all this fighting has happened, we see Hangman Page making a mad dash down the football field to join this huge fight that's happening, ending up with the Elite and the Delete ending the show at the goalpost, hitting their poses, and standing tall. The pay-per-view, it's coming up Saturday. I'm definitely going to check it out. Going to hit you up with my review on that. This was AEW Dynamite. Very limited on the amount of people that you can have at these shows, so it makes the go-home shows a little hard to put together when you're trying to promote everyone and everyone can't be there. But I am excited, especially for the Cody match, what they're going to do with the TNT Championship, if Moxley is going to get his championship that he only lost physically, but he's still the champion. All this is going to happen at Double or Nothing, and I will catch you there.